So the one thing that strikes me first about this location is the fact that we have these giant screaming smokestacks that you can see poking up behind me. But today we're here on a special mission looking for a Silviano Abeyta, and hopefully we'll be able to find him. The man was displaced. He's one of the 5 communities displaced from the Navajo Dam, or the construction of the Navajo Dam. And whenever I first drove by this place, I thought it kind of looked dilapidated, it kind of looked old, of course, and maybe not even worth the revisiting history. I was wrong. So today we're here to find Silviano Abeyta. We're going to tell some of his story a little bit later. We're going to talk about Silviano Abeyta, and let's get to it. After being displaced from the community of Rosa, Mr. Abeyta actually moved here to Farmington, and then eventually he's actually buried here in Bloomfield in a cemetery at St. Mary's. Now, he became, without even knowing it, the Bureau of Reclamation, as bad as they were, they created the community of San Juan County, and that's why we're here to see today. And so I scoured up and down, left and right, and there it is. We found it. Like I said, inadvertently, one of the founders of this area, basically. Silviano Abeyta right there. There's actually a photo. This is, you can tell how loved he was based on the amount of material we have here, but I'm glad we actually got to the location and actually were able to find it. I was starting to get a little confused because I'm assuming they have some sort of matching coordinate for, like, maybe E10 would be the one we're at now, but Jose Abeyta, this one's in memorial for you, and I can't wait to record the historical portion of this. We went deep into depth with the evicted, the removed families from the Rosa area, and Mr. Silviano is, of course, one of the most important ones that we found. Born in 1920, died in 2002, so, you know, almost 20 years now, but still had a huge impact on the city. Dying here, of course, in Bloomfield, New Mexico, of all places. Rest in peace.
All right, welcome to Revisiting History tonight. Again, after a while. They're getting better. The eyes are getting better, one at a time. But we go through ups and downs, don't we? So, welcome to Revisiting History once more. And tonight we are diving into people in a way that we haven't dove into them before. We've had Revisiting People, and of course that's a fantastic series, and we'll continue to do it. But tonight we're getting into a different type of Revisiting People. And tonight we're starting with Silviano Jesus Abeyta. One of the most important things that has stood out to me in my new project is the importance of people and places and how fast we forget where we come from. In this specific case, I come across a site that did not at first glance appear to be of historic nature at all, and that was my mistake, a deep mistake. You'll see why. A small graveyard off the side of the road, hanging underneath the giant smokestacks of the power plant nearby, we see a place, and I want to start with the story. Born on May 8th, 1920, at Cabrerasto Canyon in Rio Arriba, New Mexico, Abeyta was one of the many individuals to be displaced in the creation of Navajo Dam. We talk about this displacement. And one of the many routes that I have discovered that have contemporary connections to the tree are these people who have literally created a county out of a event that occurred at Navajo Dam. The Hispanos that lived in the lost communities of Navajo Dam was written by Patricia Tharp, and created the framework for the cities of Farmington, Bloomfield, Aztec, and even parts of southwestern Colorado. So we're talking a whole county, two counties basically, were these communities. And we're only going to talk about one today, Rosa. That's the one that Silviano was displaced from. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Silviano. We're going to talk a little bit about the dam, but we're mostly going to focus in on the person because that is history. History is the people, not the places and the things. and I hope excuse me. I hope everybody can believe that. In 1937, Silviano's mother, Josefa, encountered the first Anglo-American man, a traveling salesman selling the Singer sewing machine. Looked it up. It's a weird-looking thing. You gotta check it out. That had been created in 1851 in Boston, Massachusetts. I had to do that little extra research right there to figure out, where is this thing coming from? Who made it, the sewing machine? But yeah, in 1851, the Singer sewing machine was built in Boston, Massachusetts. These tools were considered a significant asset, so Josefa purchased one and added it to their small and meager amount of goods that would soon be rushed out of the city of Rosa. With his father's side hailing from the San Luis Valley in Conejos, Colorado, he erected a water wheel in Durango, Colorado, which is in the 1940s. 50s, you can't beat that. You have an actual running water mill producing energy within the city of Durango. That's why this whole area is so successful. You go from Durango all the way down to San Juan County. The area is successful not because of the people that live there, just because when somebody brings in a water wheel into Durango, that produces more and more production for San Juan County. We talk about all the different things that can be milled by this. So he created the powered grist mill, and he also allowed for local milling and sale of flour. In 1943, Silviano took Filomena Quintana as his wife, in which he reared 12 children between the years of 1944 and 1965. Quite a gap there. Although the wedding had been a beautiful affair in the Santa Rosa Church, the location no longer stands today due to the Bureau of Land Reclamation and the iron fist that they held over the settlers of Rosa and other communities. Now, the Bureau of Land Bureau, their whole job is like eminent domain. There's eminent domain, yes! What kind of American likes eminent domain? I think Trump might have, actually. Jesus. Alright. Well, many say actions speak louder than words, and Silviano is a perfect example of this, as when he came across a baby fawn whose mother had been killed by a car, he took the deer and raised it to be an animal of his own. Silviano's children with glee still remember how Dad brought home their own Bambi, with deer even following the kids to school and would be waiting when the kids got out. I didn't know deer could be that intelligent, honestly. Until they had been displaced, they grew up their homestead and slaughtered a cow a year while raising chickens, horse, and cattle up until the year that they had been forced out of Rosa before moving to the small city of Turley outside of Blanco, New Mexico. They made the trip to move their belongings out of the soon-to-be flooded Rosa, yet did not have enough money to move and buy land like they had in Rosa. So a lot of people were getting these raw deals in Rosa or Los Pinos. I can't quite remember all the communities at once, but the point is that people were being ripped off, forced out of their land here in New Mexico, in here in the county next to us and above. So. The Bureau of Reclamation was known for making low-level offers. I'm about to say this myself, and usually offering prices for land that was massively underpriced, regardless of irrigation, which has water running through it. Otherwise, the Bureau had committed a robbery against these citizens. The government in D.C. had brought federalism to the northwestern New Mexico and began pushing its residents to their breaking points. Leave your land or be arrested or possibly drowned by staying in your hometown, was the message. So the Abeytas and families other than the Abeytas abandoned Rosa, New Mexico, for other cities in the way of the federal hammer. Silviano Jesus Abeyta went to rest forever and lay eternally on the 3rd of July 2002 in the city of Bloomfield, New Mexico, with his soul resting forever in St. Mary's Cemetery, located in the abundant town, the beautiful town, the constantly growing town of Bloomfield, New Mexico.